Hello, everybody, and welcome to your Wednesday lighting critique. I wrote this in the channel, but for those that are just tuning in, we have to limit this to a half hour today. So let's not waste any time. Let's get underway. So first off, I wanted to talk about submission here. So the one thing that I asked for, or the thing I asked for was just for this to be broken up into like each light rendered by itself. And you did that. And one thing that makes it hard, and I wouldn't be able to kind of build this up, and actually this is going to be a problem for you as well, is the fact that this atmospheric element is baked into the render. So like so usually what you do if you have like, you know, multiple lights like this is you just start to kind of add them together. And then, but when I do that with this, it's just adding up the components of this atmospheric. So if you could just go ahead and break that out as a separate pass, not only for me and like for a look dev thing, but you're gonna want that because you're gonna really want to dial that into your look, and really kind of define things like how far it penetrates into the foreground. You're going to want variation on it. So like the fact that it's going from here to here on this building, like on each building, it's kind of layered uniformly across that individual thing. And like, we want to create some more depth in there. And if you're not going to get that out of the render, then we're going to want to use like a world space Z depth pass or something to help build that up. In terms of the lighting itself, I actually think this key light is pretty cool. I mean, I think it's a nice setup. I love this shape here. I love this coming across here. These window lights are looking good. The fill light, I'm a little bit confused by because it really only is affecting like the foreground, and it's a purple light that doesn't necessarily relate to the scene, because usually a fill in an exterior scene is going to be the sky, right? So this would kind of match more of the sky color than this. So that would be something that I'd want to kind of mess around with. So for this instance, if you could again just separate those lights out the way you have them, but just turn off the atmospheric, and then we'll take a look from there, because it's just contributing a little bit too much at this point. Okay. So now I kind of want to go through these still images one at a time. We will start with those that are here, and then we will move on to the other one. So we'll start here with Brenda as we go through alphabetically. So let's go take a look here. Hello, Brenda. How's it going?
Hello. How are you?
We're doing good. So the volumetric light looks a lot better. I like the softness of it. I think we can add a little bit more on the thickness right here at the base of it. But I like the overall look of it. I just think it can be a little thicker at the base and kind of filter down. I think outside of that, the two big things I want you to work out for the next iteration is that the color of the light coming through is a little bit too yellow. Like, I love that you're bringing in some warmth, but it's not, well, two things. One, it just feels a little too saturated overall. And two, it doesn't quite, like I said, I was talking about with the last one, it doesn't quite match up with what environment we're seeing out there. So like what we're seeing out there feels like very reddish, purpley, and if the sun color was a little more towards like an orange red, I would believe that. But right now it's falling a little bit more towards that noonday yellow, and I kind of want to see that shift in there. The other big thing that I want you to add in, and I know we were looking at some painterly references and stuff, but I was just looking at this and I was thinking that we could use some more dark values in this. I know that our reference had some lighter ones, but I'm just thinking that like as we go back into the corner of this room, like I feel like there'd be a little bit more fall off into that space, and it would get a little bit darker. This foreground element here, like it would be a little bit lighter closer to this light source than it would be over here, and so I really just want to feel some darker areas this way, and then as we go from there back into that back corner. Those would be the two big ones.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like, it's starting to come together well. Everything's starting to feel really balanced. All the materials feel like they're in the same space. It's just a matter of just kind of like dialing these values a little bit. But really good job there. Yeah.
Cool, thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right. Jordan. Hey, buddy.
Hey, how are you?
Good, man. So I do really like that we're seeing this, like the influence of this light coming off the top here. I think that's cool. I think we'd soften these just a touch. They're a little bit straight line, hard edged. And then the other thing that I'm really looking at with this is I don't want the coffee cup to be brighter than the face. I like that it's lit, but like if you kind of squint at it, I look here before I look here. And I just kind of want to push that back just a little bit.
Okay.
It might even be a matter of like adding a little bit of color to the cup or something, or it could just be toning it down either way.
Okay.
And then there is a little bit of a hard line right here that you want to watch out for. Do you see that?
Yeah, I see. That's
Okay.
kind of weird. I wonder if that's from the light bulb light. I don't know, because I don't think it was.
Oh, it might be. Yeah, I don't remember seeing it before.
Yeah. How would I get that?
Yeah, and then because this is such a small light source, I think the specularity on her skin is good, but let's diffuse it just a touch more. But it's really really good. Otherwise, eyes are looking great. Maybe a little bit more bump in the sclera, just like a touch, just because like right here, and then some of this over here is feeling a little bit dingier. So just kind of getting that in the right spot.
Okay.
Cool. Good
How would I
stuff
get rid
there.
of that hard
Yeah.
line?
Yeah, man. All right, Cat. So, I love the addition of this skylight. I think it's great. I think it does. I think it adds that depth and dimension that we were looking for a little bit. It makes the space like it really feels like we're in a space that's big now. I know you said that you don't want to go too much brighter than this, but I think we do have some room to push it just a little bit more. Just because we're going to want that kind of like bright outside kind of glowiness look. And we can kind of go like a little bit more into that realm up in there. But I think that's like I love the like, you know, I love the secondary effects of it. I love the looks on the pipes. And now brings some question into what these pipes are doing, because they just go into a window now.
I can delete some pipes. It's okay.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think those pipes are doing anything. Yeah, but in terms of the environment, like just looking at the space around them, I think this is feeling about right. My one thing is this shot is just that there's like a couple of angles of things, and it just you kind of want it to all kind of fall in one. I don't know, like you want the outside light to really kind of fall down, and then the interior light you want it to be a little softer, so it's not quite as directional. It's just that I'm seeing this and then that. It's kind of throwing me a little bit, but we can mess with that more later. But like all of these specular highlights and small shapes, they're going to be really good. And I mean we'll do some depth of field on stuff, and so it'll get blurred out a little bit. So because like if it was just this, I'd be like, ooh, that might be a little bit too busy. But anticipating that we're going to blur out some of that, I think this will work out really, really well.
Okay.
So I think the next step would be focusing more on kind of the stage lighting on the characters, or just like the light kind of coming straight down, the light coming down on them.
Do you want me to like change the color, or what do you want me to do with them?
With them, let's see if I can find a good example. So, so I want to start with a neutral light. They're like, make it like the, how do I say this? Well, because the things that I'm seeing that I'm curious about is like her skin does still feel very green, and then in this, yeah, like her skin feels green there, and then in this shot he feels very like their skin tones are kind of in two different areas. Like he's very warm and she's very blue green, and so what I want is to kind of neutralize the lights at first, just to kind of get their position, and then we might have to adjust their shaders a little bit to pull them in a better alignment between the two of them. But what I want to see is, like, we have all this kind of light going on around them. We've got the light coming through the top. What I would do if it was me, I would play this light up, because like I like how this light is looking on them. Like I think this is gonna be a smart approach to like just the exterior light being the main source of it, and then just really pushing that into that center region where they're going to be fighting. You know, like...
Okay, because right now that exterior light isn't really hitting them much at all.
Okay.
The main light that's on them is a spotlight that's right over their head.
Okay. So that's
some
actually...
light coming from the side.
Yeah, so that's actually even better, because what that means is that we can fake it wherever we want. So I would just have some top-down light coming the way that you have it, and then having them move through. I would keep it mostly that for now, and then use some, just keep a top-down light for now on them to see how this plays out. But my thought would be to, like, have pockets of light and dark that they move throughout. So, like, in this shot, it would almost be like there would be a pocket here and then a pocket where she is, and then, like, some darkness between them. And then as he runs forward, he'll go from the light to the dark and then back into the light to get her, right? Like, that could be kind of cool. And, like, that kind of speaks to the story point, which is they're two opposing forces and there's a gap between them. And that's something that you often do. Excuse me. When you're trying to bring characters together, you put them in the same, like, light ring so that they're homogenous. But then when they're... But then when they're, like, separate, you kind of isolate one from the other with a little bit of darkness between them to show the gap between them.
Okay, I'll send you a breakdown of where the lights are hitting them.
Okay.
Because they don't move much from one spot. Like, the fight is all in kind of one area, so I'm not sure how we do too much pockets, because other than him running up to her, they don't move too much laterally.
Do me a favor. Can you strip all of the shaders and just put, like, a white Lambert on it and send me the is this in Blender or Maya?
I can do this. I can strip all the shaders in Blender too, so I can just undo all the shaders, and then do you want me to just send you a play blast of what it looks like without anything, or
if
what?
If you can send me, like, I actually want to see the file. Like, if you could send me an Alembic or an FBX or something. Like, if there's
I have a .pbc that I had to export from Maya, so cool. I can just send that file to you.
Send that over to me. So and then tomorrow or the next day we can open that up and I can like I would show you how I would kind of position some light so we can get a better file.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Sounds like a plan.
Great. All right, let's close these. All right. So next up we have Mindy. All right. Mindy, you made me laugh with your fingers crossed thing on your post. That was very funny. It was just like, all right, here's my submission. And I was like, oh, I know that feeling. It's going great. I think your fingers crossed worked. I think it looks good.
Yeah, just because I've been doing a lot of tweaks back and forth.
Yeah. No, it's totally, yeah. That's the way. Whenever I shipped a shot or final a shot on an animated film, it was never like, I did it. It was like, oh, thank God it's over. Like, that's always like the feeling that you end up having.
Yeah.
It's always like, oh, thank God that's over. Okay, what's the next one? Here we go. But in a good way. So yeah, I think we're good. Does anybody have any notes on this? Are we ready to clap? Let's do it. All right. Good job, Mindy. Yeah. If you have any other tweaks, let me know. I'll add this to the Hall of Fame. If not, just message it to me, and then I'll make sure to add it later today.
Yeah, I think I'm good with it.
Okay. I will do that myself in a little bit. All right. Sounds good.
All right,
Good
thanks.
job. Yeah, you're welcome. Leave that open. Ruby. So this is, again, overall it's looking really, really good. The only thing that I am seeing that I would do is I would just brighten the source of his chest lamp a little bit more. Just because it like, if it's a light source, it should just be kind of in that range, you know what I mean? So it's just like kind of glowing. It doesn't need to be super distracting or pull us away from anything, but just a little Iron Man-y looking light source in his chest would be. It's like baby Iron Man now because he's got this.
Yeah.
But I think the rest of it looks good. Maybe, again, we're getting into super nitpicky territory, but I'm wondering if I wouldn't just get that pupil to be a touch darker.
Okay.
Just because I always like, for even, like, kind of, not regardless of the lighting situation, but well, almost. Like if there's a little bit of like if there's cloudiness over the pupil, it kind of makes the character feel a little bit in a haze. And so I just like to, and we can just dial this in a little bit more, so it doesn't have to be quite that stark. But I try and keep that darker, so it makes the character seem clear-eyed and wise, or just a little trick.
Yeah, I did dark it before in one of the previous reviews. You mentioned that, and I did. I think that might be actually for the diffusion. Maybe?
Oh yeah,
I think that's it.
So probably. So I think you can.
Okay.
I think you can just like paint it out or just roto it out in just that area. That's good though. Good job.
Yay.
All right. All right. Next up. So this is your newer version and the pre. Oh wait. I'm sorry. This is. Thank you, Camtasia, for updating me right now in the middle of the thing.
Actually, I just sent the actual previous one from the last
I see.
session that I was part on. Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, that one, it was just I had saved to compare the versions on my end.
All right. Yes. Yeah, because I was wondering, because I was like, I thought we moved that lamp, but I guess I was like, oh, yeah. And in my head, I was like, maybe I missed that review, but I was like, I do the reviews. What am I talking about? I didn't miss it. Anyway, so the position looks a lot better. This is, I think overall, like the plants outside look so much better. You know, there's shaders on them and such. And I think now that we're really starting to kind of like see this in, and I like the darkness in there. My big note would be, I think we can push the brightness on the characters a little bit in their values right in here, because I think we can. I like the darkness that's behind them. I think we can push their bright values a little bit more. Let's see if I can take this down back here now.
Okay. Yeah. Right now this is a raw render.
Yeah.
I haven't done any comp, so I could do that in comp.
For sure. Yeah. Just if you have them separate, or if you can cryptomat them or whatever. Yeah, just push them to be a little bit brighter. His eye is not his eye quite that bright, but like their core values. And then for the robot, this could be a comp thing too. The blue light that's hitting him is kind of graying him out a little bit. I would push him a little bit more towards his like hero red color.
Okay.
Just like more like in this region in here. It's just kind of, yeah. And I think that by punching up his red value, I think that'll be a little bit better.
Okay.
And if you can, just because I saw this in another one earlier this week that I thought was really good, if you want to add any like gobo lighting or just like maybe the indication that maybe there's something outside the window casting a shadow on here, could be a light blocker, could be a gobo. Whatever, just something to kind of like vary that light in there. That like really helps focus the eye on the characters as well.
Okay, perfect.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. All right. And Kevin, I saw you posted in there as well, so I can look at that after we look at Raghavendra's. All right, so this is the newer version. This is the old version. Characters. This is like the original with that light on in the background. The character lighting is looking a lot better. There's much more shaping, much more fall off, much more variation here. I think that's looking really good. The specular highlight on the robot is it's really pretty. It's much more intense, and the reflections are much more intense than what we've seen in some other ones. But I think that I think it's fine for this. I think it's kind of cool. Similar to what we just saw in the last one, I think we can take these characters and pump up their brightness a little more than everything else. Maybe that's probably too much, but like something along these lines. It's a little bit too much. Maybe somewhere in here, but because I think we can push their value a little bit outside of what would actually be happening in the scene to kind of get them to read a little bit more. And then, I wonder if the fill. Sorry about the siren. I wonder if the fill on the character is a little bit too strong and a little bit too. It almost looks green. Let's just adjust her skin tone a little bit. Let's do it this way. So I'm wondering if we pull some of the green out of there. Yeah, then she starts to kind of warm up a little bit. So I'd pull a little bit of the green out of her, a little bit less in her frontal fill on this side of her face, and then try and play up the rim a little bit more. But yeah, I think it's much big improvement over the early iteration. So really, really good job there. All right, Kevin, let's take a look at first pass. You said this is first pass?
Yeah, it's just a first pass.
Yeah.
Low res.
Yeah, no, low res is totally fine. I think that I think we want to darken this wall that she this wall that she walks past.
Okay. I kept going back and forth about it.
Yeah. And it's tough too because you have to kind of get it to match the surrounding shots. So we'll just double check it against that.
The previous scene, it's like, there's a bright light hitting it. So I was like, I don't know.
Oh yeah. Huh.
So I toned it down like a lot from what it is in the previous shot.
Yeah.
But I didn't know how much to really deviate from it.
You know what? We can put it out of focus too. That'll help.
Okay.
And then just watch out for this specular highlight right here, because once she falls in front of that, it's just like there's something about it that like catches my eye as they come across.
Okay. I think it's just the source. I can move that up into the little
and
lamp
then,
thing a little higher.
And then for the lighting on her in here, I'm wondering if, because it's pretty frontal on her, and we'll see. I wonder if. So we got the light coming in from this side. I'm just wondering if like this light should play more of an influence on her as she gets closer to this side. Like there's like a stronger rim tying her to this one, and then this main light gets toned down a little bit.
Okay.
I think that would be the way I would play that one a little bit more.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's a good setup, and then once we get the depth of field in there, that'll make a big difference. Cool. All right, let us look through. We'll go through the rest of these in order. Unless I'm missing... Oh, Abishek, you're here. Hi. Sorry. I'm sorry if I missed you earlier. And Diane is here. Oh, that worked out so well. Cool. Okay. All right, the previous version, this is the update. I like that it's brighter. I think that's warmer. We are getting to a point where her shirt's getting too bright again. So let's keep the face where it is and tone the shirt down. And then the same thing with the pants. The pants feel a little glowy. Yeah, and then same thing if you can put a light blocker or maybe some gobo stuff around the window, I think that would be really helpful. And then...
Mike, actually I tried putting gobos, but I don't know how to do it, that gobo light thing.
Okay. We've got it in a few... we'll check the... Are you using Arnold by chance?
Yeah, I'm using Arnold.
Yeah, check the Arnold workshop. I've got some light blocker stuff in there, which is like the easiest way to do it. And then there's also, I think there's a gobo section in there too. I would check that class first. That'll have the info for you. And if you still have questions, let me know.
Actually, I try to manage the gobo thing. Mm-hmm. Okay, but I don't know how to render out and use it in Nuke. I'm not able to do that thing. I know how to use the gobo plane and add the gobo lights and that all stuff. But I don't know how to use that fast.
Oh, okay. Just for tomorrow, so you have a render of a gobo light already?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, so just send me this image and then that, and I'll show you how to apply it.
Okay.
Cool.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy peasy. All right, cool. So that, yeah. So like less shirt, good brightness on her. Down the road, same thing that we saw in Ruby's. Let's clear out the eyes, make the pupil a little darker. And then I'll show you how to add that gobo light in. That'll be a good next step. Diana, this is the previous version, and we're trying to get it closer to the reference. I think color-wise, you're spot on. The one thing about it's just the structure of the shot is a little bit different because there's like a lot of it is there's no like extreme foreground in the other one, so we're getting a lot more darker elements than we are here. Like there really are no true blacks in this one or anything close to what we're having in here. So I think that might be giving us a little bit of a different read. But I don't know if there's like I don't want to lift this because then that won't look good. So I'm wondering if. You know what, too? I'm looking at this far background, and this one does have some more haze on it than we have here. I'm wondering if we shouldn't add like a little more Atmo-ish looking thing back there.
I can do that.
Yeah, let's give it a try,
Okay.
and we'll see. Because I think that's maybe the main difference point. And then we'll keep these darker elements in the foreground because they just look good.
Okay.
Sound good? All right.
Yep.
And last up, we have Ayako. Previous version versus the update. Took down the rim, took up the speck on the plant. Diana, how are you feeling about the rim light?
It's a lot better, but maybe a little more. I mean, I just think it should be similar to the boxes in the back.
Yeah, I agree. So let's just take that down just a touch. I think the spec looks good. I think that adds a nice little breakup and a little variation in there. Let's just take down that rim just a touch more, and then we'll clap. But you got to make Diana happy. She's got a very, very good eye. She's a tough one. All right. All right, guys, that is all for today. Unless I missed anybody? All right, cool. We'll take a look at some stuff tomorrow, get everyone on their way, and thank you guys so much, and I will talk to you all very soon. All right. Happy lighting, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.